પરિક્રમા નર્મદાની પરિક્રમા શું છે? Although the parikrama of holy Narmada is in practice since time immemorial, yet the people in general do not know much about it. This is so because this practice is deliberately kept away from pomp and show or any kind of advertising whatsoever, for the simple reason that only the spiritual seekers who are ready to live and lead a life of discomfort set their feet on this path of penance and self-purification. Otherwise, like so many other pilgrimages or religious practices, this too would have become polluted and converted to just an enjoyment journey or honeymoon excursion. In records of ancient scriptures, the very first person to undertake the parikrama of Narmada was the great sage Markandeya Rishi. And he not only walked along the banks of Narmada, he did not cross even the tributaries of Narmada. That is, he performed a parikrama of hundreds of tributaries as well, which is certainly quite an impossible task for anyone of our times, and that is why this rarefied form of Narmada parikrama is exclusively termed as Markandeya parikrama or Markandeya pradakshina. The term pradakshina means keeping at right hand, and the term parikrama means walking along the periphery in such a way that making a round, one ultimately reaches the same point, the same place where he or she was at the commencement of the journey. That is, making an O or a big zero. In nutshell, this can be summarized in this way, that Narmada Pradakshina Parikrama means walking along the banks of holy Narmada in such a way that in any case the stream remains at right hand side. That is, at north bank one is supposed to walk towards Amarkant or Amarkantak, which happens to be the place of advent of Narmada. And at south bank the direction will have to be towards Ratna Sagar or the Arabian Sea, the end point where Narmada ceases to flow, making an estuary. The 3000 kilometer parikrama of Narmada can be started with a sankalp from any point, any day, and by anyone, ranging from a delicate child to an aged old person, without any distinction of sex, caste, religion, social status, or even nationality. That's why the persons from Austria, Germany, France, America, etc. can be seen chanting Narmade Har, the password, while walking along the banks of Narmada. And that too with their spouse and children. The duration, that is the time period taken to perform the parikrama, too has a varied range, among which the most popular one is the parikrama sankalp of 3 years, 3 months and 13 days. And this form of parikrama is mostly undertaken by the Sadgristas. The other form of Narmada parikrama, which is popular among the sannyasis and others who are not in a hurry to return somewhere, involves a period of 12 years, and the individual is supposed to share his or her experiences with the persons of the places or ghats where he or she makes a halt for a few days, few weeks, few months, or even a few years. One more form of Narmada parikrama, which is exclusively undertaken by the sannyasis only, is 108 days parikrama, which is generally done either as a repentance of something wrong done by the sannyasi concerned, or just to add one more parikrama to the personal record of parikramas. In Narmada Khand, there are persons with record of more than 25 parikramas on one hand, and on the other hand, there are persons who are yet to complete their very first parikrama, which was started 25 years ago. To complete the parikrama of Narmada, just in 108 days, one is needed to walk daily more than 30 kilometers, and that too without halting more than one night at any place. Even though nowadays the bus parikrama is getting quite popularized, yet the true grace, the true gain, the true anand or bliss of Narmada parikrama remains hidden in the Padyatra parikrama only, in which one is supposed to move without belongings, bare feet, and then gets all the requirements fulfilled without paying anything, which can very well be attributed to the grace of Ma Narmada. The foreigners, especially the Europeans and those from America, often heard saying that the poor India is more rich than our so-called rich countries, at least in this particular respect, that here one can not only live but can have one's necessities of lodging, clothing, and medicine, etc., fulfilled by the poor strangers years together, and that too without paying anything to anybody. The most important part of Narmada Parikrama is the Chaturmas Ishti. That is the season of walking during the 4 months of rainy monsoon, in which one gets automatically a better chance to interact with the masses, to meditate, to study scriptures, herbs, to serve the people in one's own capacity, which is in no way available to those who perform the parikrama by bus or by any other means. Now the time is ripened to get included the mention of this ancient, most and longest form of parikrama in the book containing the world records, so that so far confined to India only in a sense, the Narmada Parikrama can become a global phenomenon. The real purpose of the longest parikrama of Narmada is not to avail any degree, any certificate or medal, and instead one allows one's energies and much precious time to be wasted in the process just to experience the surge of bliss at every forward step. That's why the very destination of Narmada Parikrama, though seems to be the same place where one was already there prior to take a leap, is the path itself. Because from any considered point of view, reaching the same point, the same spot, making a big zero can never be the real purpose of this total exercise. Guinness Book में नर्मदा परिक्रमा का नाम truptanand चढ़वाइए जिनका है यह काम. नर्मदे